Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is your Maker 2199 bringing you guys another commentary. Now this one's a little bit on the longer side and I did not notice that at first and I'm going to keep it as such. And for those of you that have already hopefully seen the videos if they're coming out in order, know the issues that I'm having with my Xbox and all of that, so I'm going to keep these longer videos just for the sake of it and for the lack of me not being able to post as often as I was. So hopefully you guys will be able to digest these videos in the time that it takes me to post something else, and it'll be entertaining for you guys. I'm trying to make them as, you know, as condensed and as packed with information as I can, as opposed to me posting videos every day. You're not able to condense them as much as you would usually like, and those of you guys that make videos every day know what I'm talking about, and those of you that don't, well, you know, it's a little bit difficult to, you know, have really well thought out videos daily, videos that are really well thought out of and really, you know, have a structure to them. Take some time, you know, because you need to condense your thoughts and all of that, and you really need to take your time when you're getting all of this done. So one of the things that I want to talk about before we get into the commentary on this subject, and this time I'm going to be talking about money and a way that you guys can save and or have more money cash. So we're going to be getting into that here shortly. So if you guys are interested in that, you know, stay tuned. But before that, let's do a little update. I'm not stressing myself out right now with YouTube at all because my Xbox isn't working. I'm not really coming in and posting too much stuff. So if you guys are new and all of that, welcome to the channel. We are having some technical difficulties and it's explained on some of the other videos, and you guys can check them out to find out what's going on. And if you guys are returning, you know, I do apologize, but it's right now beyond my control. There's nothing I can do right now to fix this, unfortunately. And I'm gonna try to hopefully fix it as soon as I can, but I know it's gonna take some time. So unfortunately, you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. So I'm not really. I know that more than likely some people are leaving some comments and all of that, and I haven't been able to respond to a few of them, and it's just because I'm not really keeping track too regularly right now on everything. But I will get to you as soon as I can. So just keep that in mind. So don't think that I'm not gonna read your comments or I'm not reading them or whatever. I'm just not really stressing myself out with this YouTube and all of this recording stuff. It's something that I'm just doing right now for fun, and I wasn't having fun with it with all the issues that I was having, so I'm just trying to relax and do other stuff as well. You know, I have to have fun and enjoy my life. And if it's not gonna be YouTube, maybe it's a sign that it might not be for me or something. And if that's the case, you know, then we'll see. Who knows? But I don't think it's the case, and I'm hoping it's not the case. But I'll just get to you guys when I can and all of that. You know, I have other things to do as well, and me doing YouTube, it was taking so much out of my day, so maybe it's allowing me for time to do other stuff. So this is gonna be a 2-game video. So there's 2 games here that you guys can watch, and we're gonna have a slight pause in between, and you guys can see me lagging like crazy already. So it's ridiculous. It's the adapter. It ain't working. Hopefully I'll try to take a stab at fixing it, like I said, maybe during August or something like that, and hopefully I won't completely mess up my Xbox. Hopefully it works and I'll be able to get it down. And this is so awkward for me. I can never time the freaking button here on time because I'm not used to people using that sort of stuff. It was new for Gears 4 and I never got used to it. So, and with me not playing it as often as well, so because of the technical difficulties, it's just gonna be there. So on one of the other videos I was talking about women, and I just want to finish some of the thoughts. So I was talking about you guys just being able to go and talk to them, and you know, even if you're shy, eventually you're gonna have to grow out of it. If you plan to be successful in life, you're just gonna have to grow out of a lot of the things that you might not be comfortable with, and just know that it's helpful and it's gonna help you guys, you know, go for it. Like nobody that I know is perfect in everything. Nobody knows everything. There's always a learning curve on everything that you do. Like, you're born, you're a kid, you know nothing, and it takes a learning curve. You don't know how to walk and all of that. And it's the same when you're talking with people, communicating. It doesn't matter if you're shy or not. You can do it, and it's gonna take that learning curve. And as long as you're willing to put in the time and learn and all of that, you'll get it done. So it won't be as awkward or anything like that. And the thing that I just want you guys to keep in mind is not to waste time, because I've seen so many people wasting their time, and the most valuable thing we have on earth is time. So I would really hate for you guys to waste time and have no clue how that guy got me through cover like that, but props to him for doing it. But yeah, because I tried shooting people like that as well, and I wasn't able to get him at all. So it was crazy, but he apparently got it done. So you don't want to waste time. That's the worst thing you want to do. You never know how much money you're gonna have or anything like that, but time, it's limited. We don't know that either, and the worst thing you can do is waste time. You can be short on money, you can recover, you can be short on any other thing, education, whatever, or maybe family, loved ones, or all of that. But you'll the one thing that you don't want to be short on is time, and if you waste time, you're just you're gonna be short on things that you wanted to do, and you might not be as happy at the end. Who knows? It depends on the person. But yeah, so let's get talking about time. Let's get into the topic of money, because as the common expression says, money is time, or time is money. I said it backwards, and it's really true. But I don't want you guys to have that so much that that all you do is focus on money, because although money is really important and we need it to survive, at the end of the day, money does not equal happiness. So if you're like super poor like I am right now, yes, having more money will instantly give you more happiness in that sort of scenario. And you might be asking yourselves like, why, or what do you mean? Like right now, I'm not really able to go out, enjoy too many movies and all of that. I am really low on cash. Although the good news is that I was able to get a job, not necessarily exactly what I was looking for, anything like that, but it's an opportunity. It's a way to me to get away from me not being able to go out, watch movies, or go to a nice restaurant, whatever. And now I'll be able to do that sort of stuff, and doing things like that makes you happy. So when you're not able to do them, and now money comes into the equation and you're able to do it, of course it's going to bring you some happiness. So don't be completely blunt and say that money doesn't equal happiness. Now it doesn't equal it's not my overall happiness. So I understand what is meant. I'm not trying to be ignorant here. I understand what is meant. So after you have a certain amount of money, more money might not equal happiness, and that is absolutely true. So keep that in mind, and that's why I mean, don't waste all your time just trying to follow money, and everything that you do is money. Because after a certain amount of money, or after a comfort zone that you have, and for every person is different, it's more money is not going to equal your happiness. So just keep that in mind. So don't lose everything that you have and other things that make you happy for money, because it's not worth it. And hopefully you guys won't have to find out the hard way. That's why we usually, when we learn, or the way that education or educating people is made to be done, is to hopefully help you guys so that you guys don't go through those scenarios that aren't that cool or whatever, and have to learn it that way, or the hard way. You want to learn it the easy way, which is through education, and then do all the good life choices and all of that you guys want to do. So that way you guys don't waste any time and all of that, and you're happier on life. Because on the past, people used to just go through life experiences. What we used to learn was just life experiences. And nowadays, with all of this in technology, information, and all that flowing through, that isn't the case anymore. We can learn from other people's mistakes and make the most out of our lives, and not have to suffer like other people did. So when it comes to money, there's two different aspects of money. So we talk about in school and finance about all the ways that you can have money and or wealth. So one of them is actually having the cash, and the other one is wealth. There is a bit of a difference. So for those of you that don't understand the difference, I'll try to explain it as easy as I can, so it can be grasped. So having obviously, or being rich and wealth, there's a difference. Being rich, the way that I was explained how it works is, being rich usually entitles or means that you have money or you have this cash to spend whenever you want. So let's say that I have $1 million cash and I can go buy me a house, I can go buy me a car, I can go buy me whatever I want, or more than one house, or whatever. And being wealthy is it's not that you don't have money, it's just that you have more possessions and or assets. And the way that it works is that wealth is gonna it accumulates over time, and money as well accumulates over time. Both of them accumulate over time, so there's similarities on that. But wealth is gonna continue to bring in the cash, and money is expendable. So once you use it, it's gone, it's done. You don't have that anymore, but you have whatever you bought or acquired with it. So that's a difference. And wealth is basically, as long as you never sell it or get rid of it, you'll always have it, and it'll always continue to bring in that cash. So that's what you're trying to do when you're building wealth. You're trying to build something that always is going to bring in that check, that cash in, so that you guys can spend that and live off of that. And you never want to spend your wealth really so, because you want it to continue, you want that to be a continuous source of income. So wealth will be like you renting apartments, renting a house, whatever it is that you're doing. That those are wealth building assets. Your stock, anything that gives you a check and allows you to live off of or whatever. Now, unless you're dirty rich, like beyond belief rich, more than likely you're not gonna live off of that wealth. You're more than likely gonna have to go to work or something like that and have another income. And this is where it gets a little bit shady and people like lose their minds. Wealthy people have a lot of sources of income. That's why they're wealthy, or rich, if you would like to say that. Rich people have a lot of sources of income. That's why they're loaded with cash, and they continue to purchase wealth. So every decision that they make is going to bring them more cash in the future, and it's always on the distant future. Never believe these schemes that they're going to bring you cash on the short future. It never really works out that great. It's always on the long term. That's what you got to keep in mind. Everything has to be long term, or it's not going to be great. And it works all the time. Like, people try to cheat the stock market, they try to do all of this, but you gotta, when you actually measure returns and all of this compared to long-term investors, they never do well. They actually do pathetic. So you might get away a few times doing something on the short term, but don't keep at it, because it's basically luck. More than likely you're not gonna repeat that luck over and over again. So, and you're gonna lose whatever you earned, and it just doesn't make sense. You're gonna get lost on all of that, and it's gonna be you're gonna be worse off. That's all you got to keep in mind, because we're trying to keep this simple right here. So one of the ways, the easiest way to accumulate wealth, and this is the thing that most people don't like to listen to, and it's said over and over and over for a reason, and that's because it works, it's easy, and it's simple. And it's so simple that it's really stupid. So the easiest way for you to get cash, and it's even funny to me, is by saving. Whatever you make, you gotta be moderate with what you spend. So let's say that you're making whatever a month, X amount, and for this is just an example. So let's say you're making $2,000 a month, which is not a ton, but it's it's more than a lot of people will make, and it's a lot less than what here in America a lot of people are gonna make as well. So let's just say it's between average, and it's just an example. I really don't know the numbers, so let's just take it as an example. Let's say you're making $2,000 a month, and you live a lifestyle of 1,800. So you're really not gonna be able to save that much. $200 a month isn't gonna be much. So I always hate it when people are ignorant and they don't do the math or anything, and they're just like, well, wait till the end of the year to see how much money I'm able to save up. So I'm like, if you're gonna save the $200 a year, right, or a month, you're like, yep, because I don't need it. I live at 800, at 1,800. So we take that from the 2,000 that you make a month, so you have 200 left, and that's what you're gonna save. And they already agreed that they're gonna save that forever, periodically, for a year. So every month they save 200. So 200 times 12 is going to be 2,400. So that's what they're going to have at the end of the year. Like, it's not rocket science, it's simple, easy, elementary math. So that's what you have at the end of the year to spend and use, and or spend at whatever you have, or continue to save. So let's say that you wanted to buy another car or whatever. Saving at that rate is not going to cut it unless you save for a few years, as you guys can see. That's why wealth and being rich takes years to accumulate. It's always an accumulation of time. So people just get so desperate that's why they make stupid decisions. So you don't want to get desperate, but you do want to start building some wealth and start having more than one source of income. The very minimum, if you want to have some cash in the future and really be able to just go and spend it like crazy, like rich people do, you really need to have at the very minimum 3 sources of income. That's always what's recommended on any sort of business magazine that you're going to read or newsletter, what have you. So that's what you're looking for at the very minimum. And you could do it with stocks, bonds, whatever. You can invest on real estate, which is, it has a lot of headaches, but it's a good investment at the end. It's a good investment at the long run if you do it correctly. And or you can start a business or you branch out, different divisions, what have you, on your business, and get those sources of income that way. So whatever you guys decide to do, it's up to you. There's a lot of possibilities. Always be open-minded. Never narrow your mind to just something and let it fix at that. It's really frustrating when people, all they can see of them making money is just from them going to work, and that's it. Like, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, and that'll dictate how rich and how wealthy you'll be. So if you're working right now at this job, you already know how much you're going to save a year. You can extend it to however many years you want, and you know how much you'll be able to save. So if you want to know how much you'll earn in your entire life and all of that, so you just do the simple math. You'll say, I get, let's say you get, I don't know what standard is, or what a good salary is. I really don't know, because I haven't really checked or whatever. So let's just take 30 or whatever thousand a year and say that for you is what you're earning right now. So if you want to know, you say, I'm going to work for 20 years. How much am I going to make? You multiply your 30,000 times the 20. We're being optimistic because we're not taking away any of the taxes and all of that you're paying, obviously. But then you'll be able to know more likely where you're at. You can take some away from that, and you more than likely know how much money you'll amount to at the end of your lifetime. And if that isn't enough, then you might start thinking about other sources of income, as I was talking about. So don't think it's a mystery. Like, I really get frustrated when people think that simple information like this is a mystery. Like, it is not a mystery how much money you can have from here to 10 years. It really isn't. So when people are super mysterious or they don't understand how this works, it really messes with my mind. I just cannot understand it. And have a few aunts and uncles that are like that. And it's just mind-boggling, and they're like, how did you knew that I was gonna save so much money in this amount of time? And it's like, because it's simple, it's math. And if you're the thing you need to know is discipline. So every time you play the sport, this is why you like sports, you just got to be disciplined at everything you do. When it's investing, you have to be really disciplined at it as well. And when it's your money and your wealth, or you being rich, you have to be really, really disciplined. And if you are really disciplined for a few years, you do everything right, you will eventually get to that point where you have so much money, it is stupid. And now you can be a rebel and undisciplined and spend it because you got it coming out your ass like crazy. So if that's what you want to do, then by all means, go for it. And if it isn't, then be wise with your money. Always be wise. The reason that you don't go on to trips and all of that is because you weren't wise with your money. I wasn't born on a rich family or anything like that, but I've been able to have a lot of family vacations and all of that, and that's just because my parents were really, really good at, or really disciplined about spending their money. So we never needed anything, and we never had everything. So yeah, it's not undoable, and it doesn't matter, what you do in life. You can be one of the simplest, and you could be working minimum, and you would be surprised what you can accomplish if you're disciplined. And once you go beyond minimum, do not lose your marbles. Always keep that discipline in mind. You'll be able to afford more and do have more fun, but do not take yourself into a situation where you're gonna struggle to live. If you didn't struggle before and you're making more, you should not be struggling at all. So always be wise, and that doesn't mean that you're not gonna have fun, you're not gonna go out, Of course, you're gonna have fun and go out. You just have to be moderate with it and have as much, when you do go out and all of that, have as much fun as you can. But if you guys are in a more, favorable situation where you guys have more money and all of that, and you like spending more, by all means, if you can save a lot, you're making a lot, why not? I don't understand. Money is meant to be spent. It's a tool. It's like if because I'm quite the gardener. I always garden my vegetables and all of that. So it's like if I go in, I buy me a new shovel or something, or some really good dirt and I never use it. Like, what was the point of it? All of these things are tools to get what we want. And money is no different. Money is a tool. It's there for you to get what you want. And if it's not getting you what you want, then you don't really need it. So now we're going to get to the wealth. So we talked about having cash and being able to spend it. And we talked a little bit about wealth. So wealth could be stock, it could be any sort of asset, it could be something that you rent, whatever. A machine maybe on your business that it's the money maker. So or it could even be employees. Really good employees, they're the money making, they're your bread and butter, and they're the ones that you want to take care of. Those lazy employees that don't make money and they cost you more and they feel the sense of entitlement and they feel that they've earned a lot and they do a lot, more than likely you're the biggest cost and you're the first person the company's gonna get rid of if hard times come. So you never want to be that person. But if you're that person, well, your future might be shaky when the economy goes bad. But these people can be part of your wealth building. And just take care of them, take care of everything that you have, take care of your cars, take care of everything. You do not want to be just spending money like crazy. But when you're building assets or all of that, they're always non-cash and they're either frozen or liquid depending, and that just means that you can either turn them really quick and or sell, convert it to cash, and or it takes longer. If it's liquid, it's really easy to convert or turn. And if it's a solid, it's going to take a lot longer, and that's more accounting than finance, but it's just business lingo. And it just has to do with you, how fast you can, sell this asset and get the cash. So every time you invest in stock, whatever, it's going to be either frozen or liquid. It's either long term or short term. You can get the cash really fast, or it's going to take long, and just keep that in mind. So the thing that you want to have in mind is that most of your wealth is going to be non-cash. That's just the way it works. If you look at any company's balance sheet, I don't care which one it is. It could be a really big company. Most of their wealth that they have, most of the cash that, not cash, but the profits and all of that they're marking and stuff like that, it's more than likely going to come from non-cash things. And it's going to be machinery, what have you. Cash is really, really hard to get, and it really pisses me off when people say, oh, cash is so easy to get, I'm going to be loaded with cash. It really isn't. It's really hard for any single individual to have a lot of cash at hand and all of that. Not even companies have it, unless you're Apple. But not a lot of companies have an insane amount of cash, just hanging around. Most of their transactions are going to be, non-cash. And they're always marked as cash because they have a cash value and all of that. And I know that's more accounting, and it gets really it gets a pain on the it's a pain on the ass if you don't understand business, but it makes absolute sense to me. And it might not to some of you guys. That's why I don't like getting so much into it, because maybe it doesn't make sense to you guys, but a lot of things are going to be non-cash. So not because you don't have the cash, that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. So people go into the stock market and they're like, I don't have the cash now. What if I want to go buy this? That is why you use your disposable income. And what that means is income that you're never really going to need. That's why it's called disposable. You could actually throw this bitch to the trash and you would never miss it or need it. That's what you want to get to the point of having to build wealth. And that's what's going to make you rich. Wealth is going to make you rich. So it's always a process. But you can also see people that save a lot of money, and whenever they want to spend something, so you're like, this guy is pretty rich because he always saved money and all of that. And this is just going to take a little bit longer because I have an unboxing coming out. So that is why, because they save money, they have the cash, they're pretty rich. Rich, it's a sort of perspective. You decide what's rich. You can think trillions of dollars is rich because nobody has cash, or billions. You know, only companies or big corporations have that sort of money. No individual really carries that much money or has that much money. They have it on wealth and other things, and it's not impossible. It's doable, but it's really difficult. So, you know, there's a certain amount of cash. You gotta be realistic. You know, things are not that expensive. You know, so just be realistic with what you have and the goals you have in mind. So either have cash or build wealth. You know, both of them at the end of the day should give you more, you know, more money. That's what you're after, if that's what you're trying to build, and hopefully you'll be able to buy everything that you want. Maybe it's not going to be right now, but it'll be later on. So I'm gonna have to end it this one, and I'll have to condense my thoughts again on another one. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Bye.